Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to acknowledge the presence of our supernal legislator and commander-in-chief of the universe. I'm referring to God, the creator of the universe. Just as a reminder, I just want to remind you and remind myself that as the garments of the snail are part of itself, or the garments of a locust are part of the locust, so creation is part of the Ebishter. Creation is part of God. Just as the tailor makes a suit of clothes to fit the person's physique, so did the Holy One, blessed be He, made the human body as a garment to clothe the soul. So, having said that, I just want to introduce to you our topic today. Many of you, if not all, you know about it, but just know what the Torah says about it. Did you know that chicken soup really cures the body and the soul? Were you told? Did you know that chicken soup chicken, really cures the body and the soul? This is a research that was done. And now in some environments, in some societies, like the Jewish society, they call it the Jewish Peninsula. But those are the guys who discovered it. But we do it at home in the villages. But sometimes we don't even know that chicken soup can heal, can cure the soul. Yes, I need to reiterate that I'm not a connoisseur. And I don't come from a veritable galaxy of scholars or Torah giants in the subject of the Torah. But I just feel like the age to share this nectar of immortality from the Torah of truths. So it doesn't mean to say I know anything, but we just share. And what we are doing is, in most cases, called the spiritual globalization. Spiritual globalization is we are taking things that are happening in a far field and trying to localize those things into our own context or local context, local understanding. That's the definition of globalization. Kutora zvinhu zviri kure muchiisa in your own context. So that's the purpose, the whole purpose of the Torah. And that's it's so-called spiritual globalization. I'm saying that because it's not only us that we, in the 21st century, the Chinese intellectuals and most of the Korean universities who were keen to see their countries modernize, they looked into the Jewish experience for inspiration. And in the 1920s, Yiddish, another dialect of the Jewish people, Yiddish literature provided an example of the development of the vernacular Chinese. And Sun Yat-sen Hungary, Sun Yat-sen was the Prime Minister of China. Sun Yat-sen, was the father of the Chinese Republican, praised the Zionist movement as a model for popular independence. So the Chinese, here we see that the Chinese, in most Chinese universities and most Korean universities, they've adopted the Torah. They're studying the Talmud. They're studying the Gemara. They're studying the Mishnah. They're studying the Jerusalem Talmud, the Tosefta, all those books they're studying. They've adopted it to, try to change in a positive perspective. And we then discover that in 1992, the Chinese established the first Jewish study center at Nanjing, the first of its kind in China. Since then, so many universities were opened, they adopted the study of the Talmud. So I just want to tell or to help you students that the whole globe is doing the Torah. They are adopting their universities. So I just want to take you back again and knock sense in your head. or your heads that our topic today is from the same group of people, from the same Jewish people, about the chicken soup that can heal, that can cure the body or cure the soul. And they called it the Jewish penicillin. So that's a brief background about our lecture today. Very important. Chicken soup. Remember, why chicken soup? Remember, gever, G-E-V-E-R, gever in Hebrew is a rooster. Gever, a rooster, huku, gever. And the soul of a human being is also called a gever. So where is the connection? Huku, gever, the soul, gever. So we are saying, so the soup that is coming out of the gever, the soup coming out of the chicken can heal the soul, can heal the body. So chicken noodle soup is regarded as a therapeutic dish in several cultures, including the Jewish and the Chinese communities where traditional medicine is practiced. Chinese chicken noodles, according to archaeological evidence, people started using poultry to make soups soon after they discovered how to boil water, curry. The earliest recorded evidence of chicken soup being used as a therapeutic dish dates back to Jewish history and Chinese history. It is stated that even Shlomo Amelech Solomon went to China to seek for the soup. And in the 2nd century BC, the Chinese medical text Wadine Jin declared that chicken soup is yang food, meaning a warming dish, to which different therapeutic herbs can be added to cure various diseases. Did you know that chicken soup can heal the body? Chicken soup can heal the soul. So in China, for example, chicken soup is given to women after pregnancy and to elderly people. Both groups are considered to be in the need of energy-giving young food, which is believed to transport energy around the body and have an invigorating effect. So we can see that chicken soup is very important. So one way chicken soup keeps us healthy is by improving the function of cilia, the tiny little hairs located on the inside of our noses, which repel contagious or foreign entities getting into our bodies. So chicken soup also clears up runny noses, reducing the amount of time that viruses spend in contact with the linings of the nasal passageways. So, and recently there was a research that was done at Mount Sinai Medical Center in Miami here in the States, and they tasted a chicken soup against water. So they divided a group of volunteers into 3 categories, talking about chicken soup healing the body, chicken soup healing the soul. And I've said chicken is called giver in Hebrew, G-E-V-E-R, and the soul is called gever in Hebrew. So we see the chicken, the rooster, and the soul of a human being, they share the same name. So the researchers asked 1/3 to drink cold water, and the other group to drink warm water, and the 3rd group to drink chicken soup. This study was done at Mount Sinai Medical Center in Miami. So those drinking chicken soup experienced the most improved congestion. Wakanga wane congested nose. So when they drank the soup, they improved. So the biggest chicken soup breakthrough came into 2000 when Dr. Stephen Rennard of the University of Nebraska Medical Center in Omaha decided to test his wife's grandmother's chicken soup recipe as a cure for common cold. You know, when we are referencing, you know, from a scholarly perspective, I cannot just say statements. It's called plagiarism. So that's why we refer. That's why we use the bibliography or references. We refer to say according to, because these you know these studies are scholarly. So we need to reference. That's why sometimes if I read something and I don't acknowledge the author, it's called academic crime or plagiarism. It's not allowed. You be like someone who will be fighting academic knowledge. So you need to steal. That's why I'm saying at the what university, you know, Dr. Stephen, so that people know. Because this is research. It's not my thinking. It's not my crafting. I'm not an academic craftsman. So we read and then we at the same time when we are publishing, I told you to say this is a research. So when we are doing like this, we don't force people to see or to watch or to listen to these, you know, some of the publications. So what are we saying? Recently, scientists have identified one crucial compound called carnosine in chicken soup, which has an added benefit, helping our body's immune system fight the early stages of flu. So carnosine is derived from chicken, and the slow simmering of chicken soup releases the chemical's medicinal value. Scientists warn, though, that carnosine is quickly released from the bodies. So you need to drink, need to have each and every day a bowl of chicken soup. But just let's state some brief history. The Greek physician called Galen, there was a Greek physician called Galen in the 2nd century AD who recommended chicken soup as a cure for migraine headaches, for leprosy, constipation and fever. He had discussed some of these with the rabbis like the Rambam, who would say the leprosy can be killed by chicken soup, and migraine can be killed by chicken soup long time ago in antiquity. So, and towards the Middle Ages, the Jewish philosopher and physician Moses Maimonides, between Moses Maimonides, the Rambam, from Moshe to Moshe, there's no one like Moshe, the Rambam, Rabbi Moses Maimonides, between 1135 to 1204 AD, he recommended chicken soup for the weak and the sick, and for those with leprosy, and for those again with migraine headaches. The Rambam, Moses Maimonides, the Jewish philosopher of all the time. So similarly to traditional Chinese practice, there are amongst them with the Sephardic Jews, who used to boil, you know, they'll do slaughter, you know, those old, used to do old hen chicken and you know, give broth to women. So it was very helpful. So it is something that I thought, no, let's share. It's coming from the Torah. So, but do we have scientific evidence for that? Yes. And what is that? For centuries, chicken soup has been called Jewish penicillin. I've stated it. A potent remedy for the flu and nasty winters, for leprosy. So now research has proved what Jewish books have stated long time ago. That's why we are talking about globalization. When we see something good, we can just adopt it, put it in your own context, put it in your culture, so that it can help people. We are living in a global village now. So, according to Mavic Sakna in 1978, he concluded, after conducted a study, he showed that drinking chicken soup was significantly better at clearing congestion in the nose and has greater healing effects than just drinking, you know, plain water. So in 1980, Irwin Zimmerman, I'm quoting, Irwin Zimmerman showed that chicken broth helps to thin mucus in the lungs, with a higher effect being achieved when the broth was spiced. If you put some, you know, chili, you know, some pepper, some ginger, some garlic, it had greater effect. So I'm just quoting. So generally, it can be observed that the calcium content of the soup increases with the duration of cooking. And depending on the composition, this is very, very important as it results in healing. Once the body, because the body is the residence, the body is the denizen, the body is the houses, the body is the embodiment of the soul. So once the body is healed, the soul is healed. So chicken soup is also very, very important. That's why I'm saying, did you know that for all other ailments, if leprosy, it's not me, this is a research. Chicken soup is very, very important. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Something that I've read, something that I've studied. Is it me? No. So it's written. And it's very important. And knowledge is not static. Knowledge is immortal. The Greek people, long time ago, the Greek people, even Jesus mentioned the Greek people when he said to his disciples, you Jewish people, you want miracles. But the Greeks, they want knowledge. Knowledge is never static. Knowledge moves with time. Knowledge is immortal. So, and it's transcendental. And the knowledge is acquired. Knowledge doesn't visit anyone. Knowledge is acquired. There's only one guy in the Bible, Shlomo Amelech, Solomon. This day he was in the woods, in the forest. And there's a verse in Mishlei, Proverbs, where Solomon met wisdom. Solomon said to wisdom, wisdom, where are you going? And the wisdom said to Solomon, I'm looking for the way of wisdom, or the way to wisdom. Then Solomon said, you are lucky. You have found me. When you found me, you have found wisdom. You find the way to wisdom. So knowledge is never found. Knowledge is created. You have to read an enormous amount. So that's it, knowledge. There's more knowledge that I've had for chicken soup and its healing effect to the body and the soul. Thank you so much. Until we meet next time. The next video is about the chicken soup again. Now, this is more advanced mystical in the ingredients, this chicken soup ingredients, and how that can elevate our souls to go back to heaven. Thank you so much. Amen, amen, amen.